Diane Foster, as I live and breathe. There you are in person.
Hi.
Hi. First of all, congratulations on such a scary, heart pounding film.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I'm happy to be here talking to you today.
Me too. It's I really kind of like films like this because they are such a hoot to watch, as we say here in Utah. A hoot. Uh,
I love that.
yeah. Where did the idea come from?
It's multi-layered. Basically, Kelly Grant, who plays Carol, and Allison, who plays Mary Lou. Um, we have been friends a long time, and we went to acting school together. We did a play here in Los Angeles, and then we took that play to San Francisco. And it is about three women who live in Texas, and we really loved doing this so much. So we were going to continue doing the play, and then the pandemic hit.
Hmm.
So we were like, well, we can't do live theater. And because I had been producing films for so many years, I said, let's make a movie so that we can continue working together and keep, telling stories. So really the concept for the film and the characters themselves were based on the people that we played in that play. And then we took it and Allison really turned it on its head and said, okay, guys, I wrote this script. It happens at Easter and you have a giant jackalope and demon bunnies. So I was like, let's do it.
Nothing
So
worse
that's how
than
it
a
came to be.
giant. Nothing worse than a giant jackalope.
That's right.
Yeah.
I know. It was
Honestly, I'm interrupting you. You go ahead because I'm so excited.
fun. Oh no, I'm so excited too. And I think what's cool too about the Jackalope is Allison wanted to sort of dive into that American folklore, and that's easy to do when you place a movie in Texas. So, it was sort of like, well, there has to be a jackalope, and there really isn't many movies that have a jackalope, and especially a giant jackalope in it. So, we really wanted to explore that and have him in it, and we just love our monster jackalope.
Jackalope discrimination throughout Hollywood history, I think, is just horrible.
That's right. That's right.
um, it seemed like you guys had a great deal of fun making this too, because we could feel that energy as an audience. Um,
Hmm.
I love movies that do that to me too, that know that you know that I know.
I love that. That's so cool. And you're absolutely right. We did have such an amazing time making it. And I love that you feel that as an audience. And I think that was the whole point of it is like I really just wanted to take people away for an hour and a half and entertain them. That's what we should be doing as entertainers. And growing up as a musical theater kid, that was sort of, my job from that time. And I loved being able to do that. We really did enjoy working together. We all really trusted each other. We were very going into it. We had a lot of rehearsals prior to ever stepping foot on set, much like doing a play. We come from that background, so we were very prepared going into it. And I'll tell you, there were times when we were filming that it was like, are we going to be able to get through this scene because we're laughing so hard at each other?
I love days like that on set. I grew up in musical theater too, and
Awesome.
this this really played out kind of like that as well. I could see this. Maybe you should do this as a stage musical. Easter
Yeah,
Bunny.
that would be really fun, and we have talked about that because I think we have so much music in it and so many performances that we were like, this would be a really cool stage play. So definitely at some point down the road, we'll check that out.
Talk to me about wearing the other hat you did as a director, because hopping in front of the camera and then behind the camera, is that jarring for you? Is it a difficult task to direct yourself?
I love what you did there too, the hopping in front of the in front and behind. um, it is a difficult task. It really is. I think that I've spent a lot of years producing, and I think, this being my directorial debut, I was ready to do it. And I felt like it was really important to me that I sort of crossed my T's and dotted my I's for my actors and for myself as the character of Jeannie, doing a lot of this work in pre-production of just really like knowing what I wanted. And that's something that I appreciate when I'm working with the team of people that I put together. They all said to me, "You really know what you want." And that means a lot because then there's not really that like, well, do you like this? Do you want it? Like, I'm like, no, this is what I want. This is what it has to be. And then how do we execute that together as a team? So it was really hard work to do, honestly and truly. It was, but I can say it was a dream come true. I loved every minute of it. And I can't wait to make more of these films and be with these people again and just keep directing. I really enjoyed the process. And I think that I'm somebody who my personality lends really well to
Are you a natural comedian?
it. Yes, I'm a goofball, like through and through. I love to laugh. I love being around people who make me laugh. And I'm a bit of a nerd. And I think that people don't really know that about me. They see sort of like, this producer lady who kind of seems like she's got her all of her stuff together. And I do, but I'm also I'm really nerdy and I really like nerdy things. And I love to laugh and I love making people laugh. And I think I found with this film and the films that I'm going to do after this, they're all comedy. And I'm like, I think I just have really found myself. I used to do it a lot doing musical theater. Like I played Princess Winifred in Once Upon a Mattress. And that was such a great role. And like, I just don't, I think I kind of didn't really do that for a while because I was doing other horror films and I was doing all kinds of different genres. So now I'm kind of back to the genre that I found myself in so many years ago. And I just love it so much.
But there's a special kind of quality you have to have in producing a comedy horror film. Otherwise it's not horror and it's not comedy. It's something, that it has to work on every level, and this does. This has all the right notes in it.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. I'm so glad that you like it and that you feel that way and then that comes through because that really was important to me. I think, especially when we were in the edit, there's a balance of pacing that has to happen for something to hit. And I think my background as an actor really informed those decisions that I made, not only on set directing the actors, but also in the edit and allowing things to breathe or having something happen in threes, things like that, that are just like the very basis and the foundation of comedy. I really got from the time that I have been spending as an actor, and really just knowing when something feels right, and you feel that. And I really wanted the emotion mainly and importantly. That's what I started with from the very beginning of this film. It was like it has to feel this way. And when it feels that way, people are going to go on this journey with us. So I love that. I love that you got that.
In the edit room, does the actress argue with the director, back and forth?
Yes, actually. And it's funny because, and if you speak to my editor, Nancy, she'll tell you this, a lot of times I will look at myself almost as not like as the director, Diane, I'm looking at Diane as Jeannie, as the actor. So I'll say things to her like, I didn't like the way she said that. Or I hated that. I hate the way she looks there, or, whatever it is. And I kind of look at her outside of myself. And I think I had to, because otherwise then I'm looking at myself like it's myself. And that would not have done any justice to the film. It wouldn't have done any justice to everyone else who put their heart and soul into it. And, I'm just not that kind of person. I might be a masochist of trying to do all these jobs, but I'm definitely, not someone who needs to have this sort of like adulation and things like that. I'm very much a team player, and I am very much a collaborator, and I love working with people and having them bring their gifts to the table. So I was outside of myself in the edit room.
The other part of this movie that I just wanted to bring up was the fact that the three women are good friends and they support each other. It's a very empowering film in that way as well.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. I think that was a theme, even in our lives that we do together. We're very supportive of each other, but it was important also for women to see themselves in this movie and to see that camaraderie between each other. A lot of times when you have horror or horror comedy, I find that we look to it as not sort of like women who are living real lives and like having real life issues, and like we're really women. And I wanted to tell that story. I didn't want to just tell the story of the teenagers who, get chased around or anything like that. Like we've seen that. And I love those movies, but I grew up watching those movies and now those people are grown up just like me. So I wanted to tell a story and see a film that was talking about three very adult women who have stuff going on in their life. And what does that look like? And empowering each other, and throughout it. It was a lot of fun to do it with them. I love them both so much.
And again, the audience feels that way as well. That you go into a movie for two reasons, and one is to have a good time, obviously, and this movie gives people that good time, even though it's got that kind of title to it that may not be for everyone, but it really does turn out to be a very funny and very, very interesting film in the way that people relate to each other, and even the monster relates, and it does such a great job in explaining that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think that from the title, people automatically assume, oh, wait a minute, this is going to be a bloody horror movie,
Yeah.
and I don't know if I'm into that. And what people so far, and I think I really do believe audiences will feel this way, what they'll take away from it is actually the comedy first,
Yeah.
and the horror is secondary. And it really, I want to and continue to tell people it is a comedy horror, and I made it so that everyone can see it, so that you can sit down with your families and see this, because it's not gratuitous in a way. Like certainly we have horror elements, but it's not gratuitous in a way that it's more funny, and it's so aware of itself. So I think that's what makes it so funny. And it's great because like even on Apple TV, we are listed as comedy, and I was so happy for that. I said this is awesome because that's what I want people to take from it. I want them to go away for an hour and a half and have a hell of a time, you
It's
know?
it's a huge wink to the audience, is what it is, and I love stuff like that. In our final moments that we have, what are you working on next?
So I have a lot going on. I clearly love to work, and I love creating. So I have we are definitely going to make another installment of this movie. It is called Easter Bloodier Easter, and we currently we currently have a script for that. We're in development on that. We're working on it a lot. I love when a film takes you immediately into the next one. We're sort of just going from where we end up in this film and we're continuing the story. And I love when films do that. So we're going to do that. I have a movie that I am directing, not acting in this time. It's a movie musical, and it's called SAT, the movie musical, Stupid Ass Test. And yes, it is about the SATs. It takes place in a high school, and the music is incredible, really great characters, full bore comedy movie musical. So that's in development. And then I have another film that I'm going to be acting in and producing with two other women. And it's sort of a la Bridesmaid style. Again, another comedy. And it's called Got Daddy Issues.
Oh, perfect. Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
you're
So
busy
we got a
because,
lot cooking.
as I was saying, I'm glad you're busy because we need you to keep pumping us up with good films and fun and laughter.
Thank you so much. I love that. As a kid, I those are the kind of movies that I fell in love with and what made me want to become a filmmaker. And I think it's our duty and responsibility as entertainers to take people away and, just give them a good time. And that's what I'm here to do.
Before I go, and I want to thank you again for your time. Wow, I'm blessed to talk with you. What was your favorite character you played on stage?
Oh, I love that. My favorite character ever was Princess Winifred. That was a dream come true because it was my senior year in high school, and I grew up in New Jersey. And I went to conservatory at the Paper Mill Playhouse, which is the
Wow.
regional theater there, and they're so wonderful. And that year, I they had a thing called the Rising Star Awards, which is like sort of the Tonys for high school musicals, and I won for that role in the whole state of New Jersey.
Wow.
So that really was tremendous. And I'm a comedian. Like I just that's what I gravitate toward. And I really loved doing that. And it gave me the confidence to say, you know what, I could do this for a living and I can live out this dream that I have. So I'm grateful to have had that. And just gonna keep on trucking here.
See, I played the king in that, so I have a lot to say. Just it's just a
I love that. That's so awesome. How fun. Musical theater is so fun to do, and it's such a great thing. And
I still have the
hopefully
grease
someday
paint.
I'll make my way to Broadway. That would be the next frontier.
Oh, you still have grease paint behind your ears, I bet.
That's right, I do.
Oh man, Diane, it was a pleasure talking with you. Such a fun interview. Thank you so much, and congratulations on Easter, Bloody Easter.
Thank you so much for having me. Such a pleasure talking to you. Anytime, happy to come back.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.